We've identified some of the problems as to why we have that affordability crisis. You help solve that for regular Australians through buying property and investing and doing all that sort of stuff. So you've found a solution. But en masse for Australians, how do we make it more affordable for a young Australian, for an up-and-coming, someone who's dreaming, someone visionary that wants to buy property in Australia? How do we make it more accessible to them?
That's a big loaded question. I think the first thing is you close off the taps for migration.
Yeah.
I think we would have had the market fall further if we didn't have migration. So when we started seeing corrections, like interest rates went up by a crazy amount. We should have seen more of a correction. Why didn't we? Because we had migrants coming into the country. And I don't think it was done by accident. Yeah. The government was like, hey, that's what we got to do to survive. Yeah. And obviously the government's also incentivized to have the property market propped up. They make a bunch in taxes. So that's what they wanted. And so I think if we didn't have as many like migrants come into the country, then yes, there's cause and effect. Maybe we fall into a recession or whatnot. But when you ask me about the question about affordability, I think it'd be a lot more like accessible for people today than it actually is, because you got interest rates so high now that unless you've got high income, you can't buy. Yeah. And so that's just blocked out a lot of people. So what happens when interest rates even cut by 100 basis points? You've got all these people, pent up demand, they're coming into the market too, which in the short term is just going to go and pop the property market to levels that we can't even imagine at this point. But that's the first place I would make the move.
Definitely. Cool. I'm not a big doom and gloomer as well. I think the headlines, it's going to go up by 30%, it's going to go down by 30%, and there's somewhere in between, right? Like, not always in life are we going to have the massive. Everyone wants to make the quick dollar. Everyone wants to see the property market crash because they're cashed up, ready to go. Everyone just needs to chill.
Yes.
Everyone just needs to chill. Get good advice, get good counsel around you, make good financial decisions with those around you, get some financial advice. None of us are here are qualified. I don't know if you are, we certainly aren't to give financial advice. So chill out, do the research and do the things. But what it sounds like, what I'm getting from you is that, it's just going to be unaffordable. That might be by design, it might not be. There are solutions out there. We just got to live with it and figure out the best path forward. Is that the...
Yeah, I think the bigger question for people to ask, anyone listening or watching, whatever, is why do you want to make such a quick run at this and you get all this money tomorrow? That's a bigger question to ask, because that means that you're not happy with what you've got at the moment. So let's try and figure that out. Why? And a lot of it is to do with keeping up with the Joneses, right? Yeah. It's like, oh, they've got a better car than me. I want a better car. But if you're happy in your lane, man, just stay in your lane. Like, have the nice house. If you want a house, you don't want to have 10 different properties to manage, do that. And it's okay. Yeah. If you want to work till 65 and you don't want to own a business, that's okay too. Yeah. But I think that misalignment of what you want and, what actions we're taking is totally warped. So, we can sit there and complain, but at the end of the day, if you're not executing...
So you're not there trying to drive the why for everyone. Everyone comes up with their own why. Yep. But if they're looking for a how... Definitely.
That's it. Exactly.
How and execute.
Yep. Yeah. That's what I say is even on the channel, it's like, I can give you all the education and information. If you feel like you can't execute on this, and I'm not saying everyone should have 15 properties. I'm saying you just live in your lane. If you want to buy 3 properties, I'll help you.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's just how we can execute.
I love that because behind us, we have people come in who, single mum trying to start a side hustle to support her family. Love it. How can we help you get to where you want to be? How can we support you so that you don't have to, you don't miss school drop-offs and pick-ups and whatever? We have young bucks like yourself, coming in, I want to scale, I want to grow, It's all about helping people identify their dream and then helping them get there. So I love that your business does that.